Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Baby, and I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and this is really my outlet to share the journey, the experience, and any other extra thing. So yeah, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, this is a good time to just hit that subscribe button. It takes less than a minute. I'm trying to get to 500 followers, guys. So please help me by clicking that subscribe button. Yes. So in today's video, what are we talking about? Today's video is a follow-up of the previous video I did on influencers. That video was really good in terms of engagement, and it really has been my best performing video for like the release date. So yeah, so I know that a lot of people want to know about influencers, how they can dress influencers. And so I got two questions that I'm going to address in this video. The first question was asking about when I reach out to influencers, how do I do it, and the template, yeah, etc. And the second question was talking about paid influencing. So I just thought that I'll do a paid influencing versus unpaid influencing video. So paid influencing, unpaid influencing. Unpaid influencing basically is gifting. When you reach out to an influencer, oh, we like your style, we like to gift you an item, or we have a new collection, we think it'll look amazing on you, we're going to send you items. So paid influencing is you reaching out and then basically sending you a rate card. So that's paid influencing. It's really that simple, or it's really that direct. So let me just say something. For the reason I did my first video was because I wanted people to see that it's possible to get your stuff to big influencers without being a big brand. That's why I shared my previous story. And if you haven't seen that video, you should check out that video. I wanted people to just know that it's very possible for people not to know your name, not to know anything about you, and still wear your brand if the product is great. Really, that was why I released the video. But now people are saying, okay, we want to know what happens when you reach out. If I'm being honest, we've had I would say a 99% success every time we've reached out to an influencer for unpaid influencing. Just, I would say, because we already have a brand and we already have a name. So there's really, I wouldn't say that our wording or our templates or the way we structure our email is necessarily the best, but I would say that we always get a good response because we've been able to build a brand that people have come to respect and recognize. So that definitely takes time. So yeah, so that's on that on reaching out to influencers. So I wouldn't like give you tips on how to reach out, because I definitely know that a huge part of our reach out has to do with the fact that we already have a brand. But we have reached out to some people that didn't even respond to our DMs. We've definitely reached out to people that did not even respond. So I think that's normal. Like, you're going to definitely go through that. So never let any no or any lack of response dissuade you from keeping on, from asking or from pursuing dressing influencers. So yeah, so I had to go get my laptop so that I could read the question again, so that I know that I'm answering it well. So the question is, it'll be nice to hear about an instance when you reached out to the influencer as opposed to them finding you. So I think that's what I just addressed previously. Maybe you can add a story to the template video you mentioned in this video. A story. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I just guess she wants me to say like a story of when I reached out to an influencer, how the conversation went. And every time we've reached out to an influencer, really, sometimes by email, sometimes by DMs, that's how we reach out to it. There's no I'll be lying if I said there was like a particular formula or template. And with each influencer, I feel like we tailor the message to the influencer. So it's either we're telling them that we have a new collection and we want them to try it out, or we have a particular piece we think will look great on them. So I hope I answered that right. So the next one is, are you open to sharing your experience with other influencers that didn't work? And also working with influencers you paid and did not convert, as in opposed to just giving free. I hope I'm making sense. Yes, you're making sense. I completely understand. So yes, we have explored, even though most of the influencers that we work with are free, we have explored paid influencing, and not all of them converted immediately. But I for every paid influencer that we have worked with, for me, if even if you're not able to generate sales from your page, we use your content, and we use your content to our own purposes. So we would reach out to influencers that have a good, for me, when I'm looking at influencers to use, especially micro influencers, I look at their pictures, I look at like the type of content that they have on their page. So one thing I always want is someone whose image is clear, crisp and clear. And two, someone who's good in posing, because there's some girls that are fine and they're gorgeous, but they're not good at posing, so they're not going to sell the outfit. So at the end of the day, what I really, really want to say is good pictures. So even if it doesn't translate on your own page, because influencing really is about reaching a different audience, I don't still see it as a lose, especially depending on what the agreement was. But for me, it is content, and content is always, always good to have, because it is expensive to always have like a full-on photo shoot every time you want to promote a product. So for me, it's just extra content on our page. So one thing I would say is I never overpay. I don't know if that sounds right, but I would just make sure that it's something that is, like, if I'm going to take a huge risk and pay a lot of money for an influencer, it's an influencer that, and I have not a lot of money, but a good amount of money. And it was an influencer that already had a track record. So like I could see the influencer's work, and I knew that, okay, this person's worth that amount of money. So in the instances that it hasn't necessarily worked, has been instances that we didn't really pay a lot of money. It was just a fair amount. So for me, I was paying for the content anyways. So I've not regretted working per se with any influencer. So yeah, I hope I answered those questions well. I feel like this is quite a short video, but I just thought to talk about this because I know that some people will be interested in knowing about paid versus unpaid influencing. So the thing about unpaid influencing is when you gift out clothes, you don't know when they're going to wear it. I mean, you can hint, you can say, "Oh, we'd like you to wear it at this time," but you're not paying for them to wear it, so you have no control over when they wear it, or if they're even going to wear it. We've gifted out pieces that people ended up not wearing. It happens sometimes. So that's the thing about unpaid influencing. I think you should always consider the two. It should be a mix of the two. For paid influencing is a great way to get new content, fresh content on your page. It's also a way to experiment with different audiences. Yeah, so I'm done with this video, even though I feel like it was a really short video. I hope that you've gotten something from it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.